Hey, thanks for checking out my podcast, Conversations to Live a Hell Yes Life. This particular episode has some adult language, so just be mindful if you've got some sensitive ears around. Hello, everybody. This is Barbara from Back to Life Massage and Bodywork, and I am here in beautiful Shelter Island in San Diego. The bay is behind us. It is such a beautiful, gorgeous August day. We are so blessed to live here and have these amazing vistas and views. And I want to welcome you to the second episode of Conversations to Live a Hell Yes Life. And I am here with my friend Heather Fleming, and I'm so excited to share her with you today because she is such a delightful person. And I just can't wait to hear what she has to say about living a hell yes life. She has a really interesting story. She's just a really adventurous person. So I've always admired the way you live your life.
Thanks, Barb.
Yeah. So I would just love to you to tell everyone kind of who you are, what do you do, like, you know, what's been a little bit of your journey.
Okay. Well, Barb, can I love her hell yes life anymore? Like I was telling my client before I came, I go, oh, I have to go to an interview to go talk about being an entrepreneur and living a hell yes life. I'll be back later. So I picked Shelter Island because I was living a hell no life here at times. Well, hell yes and hell no. I don't know if anyone can understand that conflict.
Yeah. I can.
No one else can. I'm sure we're the only ones.
Well, it's kind of like maybe like a hell maybe.
It's a hell maybe.
It's kind of like an okay life.
Yeah. So I said hell yes and fell in love with a yacht captain, and then we bought a sailboat together, and I lived right over there on a sailboat that was sinking for 4 years, and I couldn't ask for a better gift. And to learn about yourself, talk about self-reflection, right? Self-reflection. So no longer had the boat captain, but got to keep the boat, and it was like the best thing ever for me. So when she asked where we could have that, I go, how about Shelter Island?
It's kind of coming full circle.
Full circle. So I've had this business named Conscious Nutrition, and we've been growing up together for over 10 years now.
You say that growing up together. Oh,
we've been growing up
that's
together.
That's actually true.
It's so
your
true.
Your business grows and you grow.
Yeah, I don't have babies to learn about my self-creativity or a family yet, or maybe ever, but this business has been that for me. It's been that self-reflection, learning about who I am. So that's why we're growing up together, right? It's like, it's in your face because you can't blame anyone else about your business except yourself.
Exactly.
It's like, oh, well, who could I blame for that? And you just learn more self-love.
And so what is Conscious Nutrition?
Conscious Nutrition is an integration of nutritional science that I want people to feel self-wisdom. So taking what we know and turning it into self-wisdom, self-love, integrating it into freedom, and never feeling guilty again. Never. We've got to liberate the feminine. We cannot suppress her anymore.
Even the dudes.
And the dudes. 100% the dudes. Oh, I just got goosebumps. Like them, actually maybe them more than us. You know? Yeah. So no more suppressing like, oh, I need to count my points. I need to manage. I feel out of control. That feeling out of control is we don't trust ourselves, and we really do.
Our bodies know exactly.
Bodies know.
I love that you've taught me that because I've gone through you've got some programs.
I have a lot of group programs,
and you go do speaking, and you do individual like nutrition coaching with people. But yeah, the programs that I've done with you, I really like them because you're not about like beating yourself up for any choices. It's just about like, okay, listening to you, learning to like listen to what my body might want right now. What does it need? You know, what is it telling me? And that's really a lot about what my program is about too.
Correct.
So I love that. That's how I resonate so well with your program.
Oh, good.
So I've known you for quite a while.
Right.
We've met a long time. I think I've known you as long as I've known Dr. Jen, which was 2006. So we met a long time ago. And I knew a little bit about the sailor journey with the dude and the boat and everything. But what are some other things about your journey? You know, what are some of the biggest obstacles that you faced, and like how have you kind of overcome them? Or are you still managing them?
They get easier at times, but it's the biggest obstacles are like you know, the day where you just wake up and you don't believe in yourself, right? And you're just like, oh, this is it. Yeah. I'm done. I give up. I can't even count the times I've fired myself. I'm like, oh, there's other nutritionists doing it better than me. I quit. Like, just kind of like pushing it away. And then I'll always remember, I don't know who it was, but someone said, what if a musician said that and you never heard their song? So every time I'm like, oh, Heather, you don't have anything to say. And that's probably from our childhood a little bit too. Be seen, not heard. Who do you think you are? So that'll sneak in, and I'll go take a deep breath, and I'll think of, no, my song gets to be sung. Who do I think I'm not to do that? So it's still a game. There's still a lot of game with that, but the biggest obstacles is myself probably. And right when I like surrender, the next big thing comes in, a documentary or a speaking gig or the client of my dreams, or someone will say something that brings you to tears and you're like, oh, yep, never mind, I'm back. I've rehired myself again.
So tell us, I know that you've had a wide variety of opportunities. I would love for you to just kind of like highlight some of your favorite ones, because I know that you've done, you've done so many things, and you continue to just blow me away, because you were just in New York for at the Omega Institute, and that's so cool.
It was on my dream board. I wrote it on my dream board because I read that book by the owner of Omega Institute. Her name's Elizabeth Lesser. It's called Broken Open. And I like, you know how you read a book and your whole being like vibrates, and I was like, I need to go speak. I want to speak there someday. And that's probably from my little like ego Virgo mind too back in the day. Now I'm like, oh, we'll see. Let's see what feels good. But it was more like, I got to prove myself, baby. So I wrote it down, and then 3 months later, I never did a thing to follow through with it. And 3 months later, I was asked to speak there. So be careful what you dream about. Like, that's always cool. And it's always right when I'm surrendering. It's when I'm like, I don't know what to do next. Oh, I feel helpless. Or, oh, is this really going to work? But you know, it's underneath that doubt, that self-doubt. And then that was the same day I got asked to be in a documentary called Feeding Obesity, and that totally helped launch my career too. So I got some outside gigs for that. And then that helped me keep feeding and being creative with my own stuff. Now,
have you always worked for yourself?
It's been, I think, 12 years now.
Okay, so what did you do before that?
I always did some side gigs. I worked with paralysis. I worked with people with paralysis, which is amazing. I learned a lot with that. I came from Nebraska emotionally paralyzed, and then I worked with people that were physically paralyzed, and supposedly I was helping them. No, it was the other, the other way.
Crazy how our clients are our best teachers.
You're like, oh, here I go. Like, that helped me access my emotions that I denied for so long too. Cool. Yeah.
So how did you kind of like, because I know that for me it has been a bit of a journey to just being completely self-employed. You know, so how did you kind of like make that transition?
Well, I get contracted by a few places too, but I know I'm such a brat that I can't work well. I don't work well with others.
You work well with me.
True. Like when it's mutual. Yeah, I just always knew. I've known that. And now they have entrepreneur. You can major in being an entrepreneur now in college.
What?
And I was like,
God, I wish
if I would have known that. Yeah, whatever.
Yeah. Well, I didn't know back then that I wanted to be an entrepreneur. I didn't really discover that till I moved to San Diego.
I feel like all of us need to have something that's ours.
Yes.
Something that's ours that we get to like develop ourselves with, whether it's martial arts or art or music. I think that's how we get to cultivate more of ourselves.
That's so
mine is
great.
Conscious nutrition.
Yeah, I think that's so true. I mean, just to like have something that's so yours that it no one else can like really have anything to say about it. It's just your thing that you get to nurture and love and just hold tight to yourself. I love that. So is there any big obstacles that are still challenging you?
Daily.
What's like your biggest one?
What's my biggest one?
I mean, you've got the voices, the gremlins.
The gremlins are number one, I would say. Number two is trusting what's next. Trusting what's next, because I do live in trust so much, but then there's still like, well, maybe you should figure out more security too. So security and creativity are hard for me to balance at times. So sometimes my creativity goes high, sometimes security goes high. So I got to keep those two balanced.
Yeah. Do you feel like the more that you nurture that creativity, though, the better the security gets? Or
I need to change that belief. So yeah, she just helped me with the coaching with that belief. So no, I think it's one or the other. And so I
Nice.
just caught that in my little train of thought. So logically I get it, but when she said that, I could feel that I'm not totally getting it. So I will journal about that in my number thing in my journal.
Well, I'm
and
glad I could help you.
That's it.
In our little session
so
here.
true.
Oh, that's so cool. And so who along the way, you mentioned Elizabeth Lesser.
That was so cool.
I think I not met her, but I did attend a conference in New York many years ago.
way.
That it was called Women and Power. It was
Makes
back in like
sense.
2005, and I think the Omega Institute hosted it. And so I'm sure she was there.
I'm sure
It was
she
so
was.
long ago. The only things that I remember is I saw Eve Ensler and Jane Fonda.
Oh, neat.
So,
Yeah,
and I mean, there was
yeah.
some really cool panels
Yeah.
and stuff like that. But so I'm very familiar with the Omega Institute. So I mean, you mentioned her as one of your kind
That
of
was
mentors,
cool.
teachers, somebody that has inspired you, or was that kind of her role? Or
She was so vulnerable in that book.
okay,
And I was like, oh, women get to be that vulnerable? Like, that was it. So that was what, 2005, 6? It was
Okay.
probably about right then. And I was like, oh, we're allowed to be vulnerable. So that was huge. I would say my buddy John O'Connor, who was a quadriplegic, was huge. He always just was so excited to nurture me and give me the space to just grow into. So we opened up a nonprofit paralysis center in Chicago together.
Oh, okay,
And
wow.
we just had so much
no
fun.
idea you
I
did that.
know, he was so much fun. I would say I work with John Gabriel now, and he does a lot of visualization with weight loss. And his people and working with him has opened me
now
up
is he
too.
someone that you like coach with, like, or work with, like a mastermind group, or is this like somebody that you read a book or something?
We were in the movie together.
Oh,
We
okay.
met at the documentary, and then he feeds me clients too. So
Oh,
I'm one of his
that's so
company's
cool.
coaches, and I've learned so much the past 6 years with him. So I met him at the documentary, which was profound. That was a great experience. So every time I needed that phone call, it's happened.
That's awesome.
So that's my one
So-
takeaway for everybody.
I love, it seems like, trust is
Yeah.
such a huge part of like who you are. And I've seen that with you too, because it's
leak
like
a lot.
I've seen you manifest like so many things, and even like the tiniest little things. I remember one time, this was a long time ago, but I don't remember who the other person was, but you guys, we were at a mutual friend's home, and you came in and you're like, I just manifested a free movie. We went into like, you'd gone into like Blockbuster or something, and you were like, yeah, we got a free movie, And
I've
so
got a lot
even
of
the
free things.
tiniest little things,
I-
you just manifest whatever you want
Yeah,
or need in the
I like
moment.
it. I
And
do.
I've
I feel
always
that.
admired that about you, and that it's that whole trust thing.
It is.
And I think that is a really hard part of being an entrepreneur. Is
Very.
like, especially when sometimes the dollars aren't there in your bank account, and you're like, oh my God, how am I going to make it to the next month? But I love that trust, and I'm the same way. It's like when I trust and surrender and just be like, universe, I know you're going to take care of me. I know
Yep.
that the money that I need, or the clients that I need, or whatever I
phone call.
need, the phone call
The
that I need,
opportunities,
it's
that
going to
was the
show
biggest
up.
for
And
me.
sometimes it's just we have to be ready for it. And the universe is like,
Receive.
yeah, we have to be ready to receive it, because if we're all panicked about it, it's not going to come in.
We're in the wrong vibration
Right.
to receive it. Our frequency will be like, it's right here jumping up and down, but we're like, no, no,
We're over here trying to like figure it out, and we're just
Control.
like, yeah, exactly,
Control.
control. Okay, so I want to know, what has kept you from giving up? I mean, you said there was like those moments where you're just like, you woke up and
That's
you're
it.
like, Heather, today
quit.
I'm done.
I quit.
I'm gonna go get me a job somewhere, and I'm just throwing in the towel. Like, how do you not give up?
Yeah, it percolates. It comes from my second or third chakra, and I'm like, no, I'm done. I quit. And then all of a sudden I'll be like, I have one idea. And I'll have one idea, and I'll go, God, that's a really good idea. So it comes up from here, and I'll even try to push it down. I'll be like, nope, you've already had enough ideas. You're done.
Yeah, you had
You're
your
done.
chance.
You've had your chance. It's going to fail again. And I'm like the queen of failures. I'm like, oh, well, let's see how many times I can fail today. So I think that's the trust and the failure. I'm like, well, I don't think I know the difference between trust and failure
okay.
either. So I'm kind of like, well, let's see. So I'll feel it percolate, and then I'll just kind of write it down, and then I'll be like, well, maybe I'll just write a little blog about it. Well, maybe I'll just do that. Next thing I know, it's a program or the next ebook. I watched a couple other fellow nutritionists, I won't say names. They were judging people having cravings, and I like hurt my heart, and I went, you know what? You go after those 2% of people that don't have cravings, because there's a couple. And the rest of the 98%, I'm going to run with. And I wrote a cravings book that I love. And that's just for us to like, take that sigh of relief and like feel that percolate. Why am I craving ice cream right now? Oh, well, this reminded me of a memory. I really want to hug. I really want to reach out to my friends. I really want to call someone. I want to have some ice cream. Own it. Go get the vanilla
Sometimes
gelato.
It's just about
and
wanting
own
the
it
ice cream.
And own it. We are. I always say that our critic is judging and criticizing what the rebel desires. So we have this desire and critic going back and forth in us all day, but why don't we like love them and make friends with them and see if like, oh, you know what, it is gelato day today, or oh, you know what, I actually just need a phone call and I'm thirsty. I'm just thirsty, you know?
Yeah. That's so cool. That reminds me of like Kyle Cease and the way he talks
cool
about
stuff.
like,
He's
you
good.
know, loving those parts of you that you might hate. Like a lot of people hate the critic or they hate the rebel. They hate both of them.
I love mine.
Yeah. So if there's a part of you that you hate, then you're gonna like
there's
gonna be that vibration of hate and
you're
like,
giving your power to them.
Yeah.
So my rebel's name is Samantha, and
my
my
gosh.
critic is a-hole, and he's a-hole, and I love them because we all have an a-hole in us. Humans are the most
a-hole.
A-hole, asshole.
Oh, I thought you said a-hole.
That's even maybe I should change it to a-hole.
Oh, that's perfect.
But like if we act, us humans have our beautiful aspects, and we also suck. We can suck, so I meditate to suck less. That's my goal. Everyone's like, I'm just meditating to suck less as this humanness, right? So like, I think if we like love the a-hole, go, oh wow, there's my critic again. He's running the show. Sorry, but he's running the show versus, oh, my rebel, she just wants to go wee like all the time. So how can we love them and then still get all of our needs met too?
Well, and rebel seems to like sometimes rebel can have like a negative
we can retaliate.
connotation.
My rebel
like,
likes
rebel
to
can
retaliate.
be like, like screw everybody, but that's not
True.
what your rebel is. It's like maybe it is.
She can retaliate
but
sometimes.
She seems like it's more of the free spirited part of you.
And she's curious. The rebel is our teenager years. Like we were like this. What can we learn now? I'm so curious about who we are. So with food, I love talking about both of those aspects of ourselves because those are the two that are getting judged and denied the most. Thus, we are falling off diets.
I love what your program is about too because it does tune you into your body
Yes.
and your emotions and like, so what is my body trying to tell me, whether it's a physical pain or whether you've got a craving. I learned. I think that was one of the biggest things I learned the last
was
time.
An ideal client, everyone. I was like, where did you fall out of the sky? Like she was just on it. She was totally ready.
It was so funny because I kept resisting your program for
Everybody
months.
does.
I was like, oh,
don't worry.
I gotta wait till I have the space or the bandwidth or whatever.
Perfect. Yeah.
And then I just was like, screw it. I'm never gonna have it's never gonna be the right time. I just have to do it. And I remember that week, I had a lot going on. I was pet sitting and I was like not living in my house and I was like so much was happening. But it was like the perfect week to do it. And I learned so much. I was so present.
Beyond.
And I just was like, it was a life changer. So many ahas came out of that. And I tell people about you all the time because of that.
One after another aha. I seriously felt like my other clients were like, did you plant her? It was like, I should have.
No, but I love that whole, I think that was one of the biggest things I got out of it was a craving, is just your body
signals.
It's a need that your body needs, and maybe it does need that ice cream or want that ice cream, and you can give it or whatever it is that you're craving, salt, whatever. But it can also be like just taking a pause to check in, and I love that.
What need do I have? We have over 22 senses in our body. Like all of our little organs are giving us little like, hey, I need something sour. Hey, I need something sweet. But we're like, no. And then it blows up and we've all had that feeling, right? We're like, I'm so confused. I just want everything. I want to suppress this. So when we can just kind of like play with those little subtle cravings, which Barb did the greatest job at. So.
Well, I've kind of fallen off the wagon a little bit, but I mean, I try not to beat myself up because,
no more
I
guilt.
know that is not serving me when I like beat myself up. I mean, I still do, but I'm more aware of it now, and like when I catch myself a lot more. So thank you for that.
Glad.
I learned so much in the last program, and I can't wait to do. I love your program, so I'll probably do more of them in the future.
I've made them more fun too lately. Yeah.
So I in the last interview with our friend Dr. Jen, you know Dr. Jen too. I was telling her that there's been I can kind of look back and like see these like pivotal moments in my life where I just like that there had been a buildup and like I knew a change was coming, and then like there's just those pivotal moments where it's just like no more. Have there been any of those for you? Like what have been like the pivotal moments for you where you just like you just couldn't take it anymore of the path that you were going because it wasn't like you weren't following your heart. Can you like tell us about one of those or
question.
And how did you, and then from those experiences, like how did you like how did you take that leap and have that courage?
You ready for this?
Yes.
24 to 27, I was a pharmaceutical sales rep in Nebraska.
I remember that. I remember you hearing about
Don't
that.
judge me. I learned a lot, and I'm still grateful for it. I remember waking up one day, and I had the that big weight, like a fake cartoon on my chest, and I heard myself go, "You'll die if you stay here."
Oh my God.
So I was 27 and a half years old. I heard through a friend of a friend that someone I knew was moving to somewhere in California, and I said, I'm going. I had no job, no car, nothing. I moved out here and then quit my pharmaceutical sales shop. Practically. Sorry about that, whatever company you were. But I think I was like, oh, I'm not coming back. And I remember telling my grandma's last, because I was so scared to tell them because I loved them so much. And they're like, yep, that sounds about right. See you later. They just kicked me out. And I was like, but you should want me to stay. But it was that feeling that you wake up in the middle of the night and you go, and that's your soul dying. That was my soul. Have you had that one?
Oh, I've had
my
a few
soul
of
was like,
those.
knock,
Yeah.
knock, knock. And so thank you so much for that one. I'll never forget that.
That's cool. So have there been any others where it's just how did you I guess when you heard that your soul was dying, I mean that was the courage that was just I don't want my soul to die, and you're just
totally.
I don't care, I don't have to know what's going to happen. I just have to do this.
Yep, I knew nothing. I had no idea. I would not recommend everyone to do what I did and just come to San Diego, but it was the smartest thing I ever did at the time.
What Dr. Jen said too.
Smartest
she was
thing.
like,
don't do it. But
she was like, maybe not the best way, but she just did it.
It was so awesome. Now it's a little voice and it'll get louder. It'll be like, nope, 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 or yes, yes, yes. So it's a little voice that if I'm going the wrong way and it feels really loud, or you'll get more signs that...
It's a little more nuanced as you start to listen to it and grow. It grows and it's not such that not
as debilitating.
That dramatic.
It's not dramatic and less debilitating. Before they were,
Well, that's cool. So as this is a conversation to live a hell yes life, is there anything,
so cool.
what does it mean for you to live a hell yes life? How would you define that? I mean, and I'm talking about right now in this moment, because that tomorrow it might be different.
Exactly.
Who knows? But right now in this moment, what does that mean for you?
Well, I'm supposed to fly to Kauai on Monday, and there's a Category 5 hurricane going through right now, and I'm not attached either way. Of course I would be excited to hit my business meeting and go to stay on this beautiful organic farm that I've booked, but I'm like, oh, this is perfect now too, because I trust that I'm going to be fully me no matter where I'm at too. So hell yes is just owning it, not reacting. I used to react so much. Oh God, I was so anxious and reactive, and now I'm like, ooh, how can I just respond to life loving me? I believe life totally has my back now, and then I'm like, oh, I'll pay attention to that. Ooh, pay attention. So
and the whole hurricane thing is completely out of your control.
Totally, right?
I mean, the plane might get canceled.
All of it.
They might be in the middle of it. Nobody can get anywhere anyway. So it's if it's supposed to happen, it will happen, and if not, I always think that when those things happen, it's you're where you're supposed to be.
I agree. What was I running from? I recently reached out to someone and they didn't call me back, and I was super disappointed, and a little bit of my unworthiness came up. And then 15 minutes later, I'm not kidding you, before it'd be days, and I went, well, if I'm really fulfilled in who I am, then why do I need that person to call me back? And it was the most liberating thing. It was really recent, actually. And I was like, whoa. And then something amazing happened right after that, too. So I think it's that liberating ourselves from control. And most of that control and false beliefs aren't ours. It's passed down. And then we've adapted to them to stay loved, to be accepted, to not be abandoned. So that's what I'm working through.
Oh, that's so
So
cool.
hell yeah, I love your
Hell yes.
business name.
Hell yes.
I love it.
Well, the business name is Back to Life Massage. The program is Live a Hell Yes Life.
The program name is amazing.
I'm having a lot of fun
when
with
I saw it, I was like, what? Why didn't I? Well, first I'm like, why didn't one of my 800 ideas think of that? I'm kidding. I'm glad I didn't.
Well, we can do a program together called Eat a Hell Yes Life.
I love it. We're doing it.
We'll do it. Yes,
Totally.
It's out there now. The universe has heard our request. It will happen in the next, I don't know when.
My little mind is already like, what does that look like? I'm already feeling into it.
Awesome. So, just as we get to wrap up this session here, what are some of I guess right in this moment, because like I said, it might change tomorrow, but what are some of the most empowering words or phrases that either you say to other people or you say to yourself, just to stay focused and positive and just feeling good about life and where you're going?
I remember speaking, that's so funny, I haven't thought about this forever. I remember speaking to a bunch of nutritionists and I was so intimidated. And I was like telling them a little bit about my story. Then I was like, well, who am I not to try to share who I am? Like, who am I not to try? So almost like we're suppressing that force in us to not be us. So who are we not to push that down? That was one of my big aha moments.
It's kind of like that Gandhi phrase.
What is it?
I think it's like be the light, or
totally
or
good
something. There's something about who are you not to be all these things?
Yes, that's a good one.
And then
Marianne Williamson, and I think
I've seen both names attached to it. And then Marie Forleo. I know you're a big fan of hers.
Yeah.
She's always like you're the light that the world needs. Because there's a uniqueness about each of us. That and I was just talking to my coaching client this morning about how, I'm not the massage therapist for everybody and you're not the nutritionist for everybody, but there are plenty of people that are the right people for us.
Yeah.
And those are the people, that we need to show up for.
Oh, I love that.
So it's like, be that, because somebody out there needs what we have, and obviously I can't massage the whole world and I don't want to. And I want people to find who is the right massage therapist and the right life coach for them. And same, I'm sure the same for you.
And that guidance that you're helping people. You're helping people to feel that and then help them be guided to where they need to go next too.
Yeah.
I remember
it's super fun.
I did one session with JP Sears, just to name drop. We're trying to see how many name drops we can do. Right before he blew up. I think I was one of his last onesie sessions he did. And he's like, so what is it about significance in you? And I was like, I could feel that. I was suppressing my significance. So kind of that light. Wait a second, what if I was significant in my own life? And I think sometimes we're scared of our own power.
Oh, I'm totally, yes.
I can see it. Good.
Yeah.
So what if we were powerful? What if we were significant? What's that look and feel like?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Can we manage that?
Yeah. Oh my God. I wish we could. We could talk for hours, and I'll probably have you back again. So because I just want to, have more conversations. So I'm sure at some point I will, when we create our eat a hell yes life. I can't even say it. So if people want to find you and learn more about you, and she's got some amazing cooking videos. She does these cute, and her little blue apron, and she does these great cooking little videos. She posts them on Facebook, and I'm sure you have a YouTube channel.
I do.
So tell everybody where they can find you and your stuff.
Awesome. I'm consciousnutrition.com, and then my YouTube, I picked my name, is heatherdonfleming.com. You can get both of them from Conscious Nutrition. And my goal with my videos was just to show that playfulness, that freedom, and just be like, ooh, what's going on? Why am I craving this? What do I really want? And that's what my videos are about. It's not trying to make you on a diet. Everyone's like, oh, you're a nutritionist. What diet are you going to put me on?
Oh, yeah.
I'm putting you on the freedom diet, the freedom to feel your body and love it and acknowledge it. So consciousnutrition.com or heatherdonfleming.
Awesome. Well, thank you, Heather, for being here with me. I am so blessed that you said yes.
Oh, of course.
You said hell yes.
I actually did say hell yes in the email.
Yes. And if you want to find me, I'm at Back to Life Massage and Body Work. No wait. Yep, backtolifemassage.sd.com. I don't even know where I am. And I will be posting where you can find me and how you can reach out to me. And if you have any thoughts on how to live a hell yes life, or any topics that you want me to talk about in future episodes around living a hell yes life, I would love your comments and your feedback. So please reach out. You can find me on Facebook at Back to Life Massage, or you can find me on my website at, like I said, Back to Life Massage SD, as in San Diego.com. And thank you, Heather, for being here.
Oh my gosh, thanks, Barb, for having me.
Keep living your hell yes life and finding those yeses.
Yep.
All right, take care, everyone. Bye. Thanks for watching. If you have any comments or suggestions for upcoming episodes, drop me a note at bmiller@backtolifemassage.sd.com. You can also follow me at Back to Life Massage SD on Facebook and YouTube, or visit me at my website, backtolifemassage.sd.com. Until next time, keep living that hell yes life.